Happy Friday, gang. What's going on? Anything good? Anything bad? I'm just making. Whoop, I got a bat in the cave. That's all right. I'll just stream like this the entire night. So, what's going on, guys? Who we got in chat? Phoenix. Corky gets it. Corky gets it, and we got Super 2. What a surprise! Everybody's showing up tonight. It's a good Friday. Well, it's not Good Friday. It is a Good Friday. Holy nose hairs. You guys see these? I gotta do some like manscaping up in there. Like, look at those. Give me 1 second. Nah, I don't like it. Oh well. Sorry, guys. I had to turn the light off. I'm having a stroke over here. Sound like Porky Pig. I was running my bills and I was like, I need to like figure out what's going on here. And I realized I was like, gotta turn the heat down. Gotta start shutting off lights. We gotta figure out how to save money. Yeah, it's a Trans Am t-shirt, Corky. I think it is. It's either that or a different one. I don't know. I bought it like, what? 10 years ago? Was that 10 years ago? Seriously, good lord. You see it? Like, I can see it. It's like right there. Like, get it out. It's gonna bug me the whole time. Is that like a bogey? What is that? No, it's just a hair. Just a hair. All right. See, it didn't. It like left when I like this. Oh, it didn't leave. It's right there. I trimmed my nose for the dentist the one time, and the girls were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I trimmed my nose hair. Is that because you guys gotta look like right there?" And I imagine you get tired of looking at hair all the time. And they're like, "That's the first time anybody has ever said that." That's what I think of. Like, that's how like overthinking. That's how much overthinking I do. But yes, so shirt I bought like what 10 years ago, at Walmart. I had a thing for like Walmart graphic tees for a really long time, and I'd wear them, and then I'd like sweat through the sleeves, and the sleeves would get all disgusting, and then I just cut the sleeves off, and now I have a bunch of sleeveless shirts, which I enjoy, mostly because. Well, I enjoy the freedom it gets me. Where is it at? I'm a mess. Didn't even clean up. It's almost like I'm not professional or something. No, I was cleaning. Not cleaning. I cleaned up my desk yesterday, and then today I got in this cool like HDMI switch. I don't know if I can pull it on the camera here, but it's got like all my cool, like, well, not all my cool, but like it's got my PlayStation, my Steam Deck, and then now it has my computer monitor plugged in, and I can like switch between things now without just unplugging my capture card. That was the longest. That was like one of the weirdest things that I'd have to do. It was just like one of those like unplug, replug, unplug, replug every time I want to do something, and now I just can hit a button and I can get it off my desk. I can hide it. Seriously, I am focused on these nose hairs. What the fudge? It's like I did some booger sugar or something like that. Freaking A. Alright, I think I did it. Overthinking is wondering if they thought you were weird for doing it. Nobody wants to look at nose hairs. I did the right thing. Okay. I did the right thing. Now I feel better about my decisions. Oh, Phoenix has been playing Stardew all day. Phoenix, what did you get accomplished in Stardew? I have no idea how Stardew works, so I should ask questions. Braid them into your mustache like an alpha? I was thinking about that as I was blowing my nose there. I was like, they're just becoming an extension of my mustache. And Joseph's here too? What? It's a good night. It is a good Friday. I think I said that already. How many people know what a Royale? I already gave the answer away. It's a Royale with cheese. Quarter pounder, cheese, and Paris. 80% out of 5 people know. Now I just want to watch that too. Gosh dang it. My brain is just like shiny. Here we are. So tonight I am playing the Stanley Parable, UltraDeluxe. It makes me want to curl like the UltraDeluxe. Wee. Like, does that look okay? Hold on. I wonder if I can do it. Can I tease it into like a? I don't think I can do it. It's gotta go like this. Like I want the Reginald, like the big, like the Civil War mustache. Kinda. Let's see if I can. I should like dye it. Like do this part like black or like red. No, yeah, that part would be black. It'd go up like through here, and then the rest of it could be red. It would stick out. Yes. Oh, you called the wolf. That's all you had to say. I can't remember any of the quotes. I just, for some odd reason, was titling the stream, and I was like, with cheese, and I was like, something with cheese. And then the quote came to me, and I was like, yes. I don't know, it's been forever since I watched that movie. I love Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs, I do not like. I do not like Reservoir Dogs. I think it is one of the worst Tarantino movies. But that also, you have to compare it to The Hateful Eight, and I hate The Hateful Eight too. Mega Man, this game is, well, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's a game about meta games. But I hear it's really good, so I'm excited to play it. I downloaded it. It's on my wish list. Not my wish list, but like it's on my list of things to play. Samuel Jackson says that after they shot the dude in the car and they go to Tarantino's house, and Tarantino said he called the wolf, and the wolf's the cleaner, played by Harvey Keitel. I do recall that one because he's an old guy and he shows up at the front door. I like Django. I love Django. Django was great. Yeah, Django, Pulp Fiction. I like Kill Bill. I think I've only seen the first Kill Bill. I might have seen the second one. I can't remember. I probably own both of them at some point, but I'm trying to think of other Tarantino movies because there's more. He's done a handful of them. Was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Is that one? I haven't seen that one. There's got to be more. But I don't know. Tarantino's a strange bird. He's a good dude, I think. I don't know. I've never met him. Let's see. You ate my face. Luckily, I got another one. Natural Born Killers. So I did not see Natural Born Killers. Is that the one with the woman and she's got the leg crossing shot that they said that it wasn't going to be in the movie, but they wanted to get anyway, and that they put it in the movie? That's what that sounds like. But I haven't seen that one. All right, so let's just bop on over here to console. Natural Born Killers is with Woody Harrelson. I might be thinking, is it Quantum Leap? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Because I don't think it's Natural Born Killers. I haven't seen it, and if it's not that one. Can you guys hear this? I can hear this. Basic Instinct. That might be what it is. Okay, so you guys can hear that. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna subtitle in English. And then confirm. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Okay, so I'm going to go off of what you guys can see, and I'm going to just turn it all the way up. Boss, did it! I'm assuming you did something in track. Please enter the current time. 7:17. Okay. I was like, I don't want to do military time. You recommended the game and he played it. You might have, Vosk. I feel like there was somebody else who recommended it to me too, but it was on the list. It might not have been on the list, but it was in my brain. And it was on my PlayStation, and I said, "Let's go." Okay, so, ooh, look it, we got a game and a game and a game. What kind of settings we got here? Field of view, camera sensitivity, invert Y, controller vibration, show color labels, content warnings, reduce motion. Audio's all the way up. Controls. Move, look, interact, pause, and then there's crouch. 300-meter hurdles, because 300-meter hurdles are 36 instead of 39 inches. I can't even jump that high. I'm impressed. Alright. You guys ready? I'm ready. The end is never, the end is never, the end is never.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
And his parable.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
It doesn't sound too hard at all.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
How much did he make?
Although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Happiness is important.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Okay.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
Did he invent a cup?
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh no.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Oh.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Did he miss an email?
Something was very clearly wrong.
He missed an email.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he
Stanley.
came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, is this me? Okay. Sorry, I am drinking Coke tonight. My mom bought them for her friend to mix with adult beverages, and apparently her friend can't have Coke, and so she gave them to me, and I was like, bet, thanks. And she goes, they're small bottles. And I brought them home, and I like looked at them, and I was like, wait, these are normal sized bottles of Coke. And then I realized that my parents consider the extra large bottles of soda to be normal soda size. So, and I was like, that you guys just drink massive sodas. And you just think normal bottles are regular size. It sounds crazy. And it is. It's not like my parents are like super 4,000 pound like sugar addicted Americans, but like mom's diabetic, so they keep sugary things in the house for stuff like that. What's going on, Ferg? Welcome to stream. And my first time playing the Stanley Parable. What? Janice appears to be out of the office today. And
coworkers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh no.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That's right. I can't find them. Steve! Bruce!
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
As one does.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
I feel like this narrator's getting cheeky, and I'm not liking it. Let's see. What's on here? Ha! Hope he's saved. We got like a nice little mountain here. Nothing in the broom closet. What's over here? Have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. New clues in search for river watches. Something soaked peace talks. Heck hill! There's different endings in this game. Everything seems locked. 420. Okay. Alright. Frank and Sharon are not here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You think I'm gonna enter the door? This narrator thinks he's in charge of me, and I don't like it. Heck, I am okay. I am feeling rebellious today, and we're going to the right, because the narrator...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
The
Perhaps
narrator...
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I don't like this narrator. I'm just gonna do the opposite of everything the narrator says. But I'm doing okay. 489. Can I just break down one of these doors? Hi, Kill! How are you doing today? Doing okay?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
This is...
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
This is not that. Who designs a room like this also? Like, there's a little drop-in? Like, whatever.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Listen here, Leonardo. That's your name from now on, Leonardo. Coffee cups don't make keyboard noises.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy.
Shut up! The noises don't make sense!
Overall personality.
Oh.
It's possible that this is what. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room.
What am I hit?
The first open door on his left to get back to business.
You know what? I don't like Leonardo. How about Jeff. Jeff sounds like a good narrator name to hate. Nope, we going straight still.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Shut up, narrator. Jeff. What is this? It's a big warehouse. It's like a little key card. Alright. What is this? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
You think? Stop telling me what to do.
You really
You think you're lying, Jeff.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
What's
There's
your point,
someone
Jeff?
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who is her, Jeff? Listen, Jeff. It's either you have my wife or my dog. And Lord, help you if you have my dog. I don't know if you've ever watched John Wick.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside.
Let's go on, Mayo.
Her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Jeff, who has been waiting? Because right now, you're speaking nonsense. And I don't like it. Let's see, we got a bulldog. Is it propane? It's electric! Sorry, Hank Hill. We don't got a propane lift in this game. It's a black room. It's a dark room. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Listen here, Jeff. This is my dog. $4.27.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. Oh.
This isn't my dog.
Okay, there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Ooh.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Jeff, I don't like you.
Trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Jeff upsets me. Radiation. Small story. Hurdles. I checked my phone, saw a girl was calling me, so I answered and I said, I can't talk right now, I'm at track practice. The rest of the hurdlers, they said, dang. I'm glad. That's how you do it, boss. You play the long game, and then you run hurdles. Waiting on pizza. Go watch some DBZ Daima. I have not seen that. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a hot minute. What kind of dog is this? Well, hypothetically, in a perfect life, it's a corgi. I love corgis. I want a corgi so bad, but they're expensive. But they're adorable. Okay, so we're gonna go this way.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Jeff, you're making me mad. Jeff, I swear to God. Alright. Listen here, Jeff.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
The death of a man named Stanley? Good morning, employee 427. Press down on your controller.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
What is going on here? Like, this game is just existing to upset me.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I don't want to press buttons now. Like this game is speaking to me as a streamer.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
That's what I do when I stream.
Behind his desk, Stanley
At my desk.
dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
I don't like Jeff. His lore accurate name can't be Joffrey. Joffrey. Press up to watch TV. Where's the TV at? Is it that, or is that a window?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Jeff, what are we doing here?
The thought excited him terribly.
Please press triangle to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either.
It's true.
At last, choice.
Okay.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press left, right to prepare dinner. Does this guy think I have an imagination? Like, what's going on here? The answer to the poll is a Royale with cheese.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Let me out, Jeff.
Lay an enormous round room.
Is that
with
a
monitors and
bed?
mind controls. And down another was
Looks like a
yellow
comforter.
line that weaved in many directions.
TM.
And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Jeff, what are you talking about? Press O to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head, he relived it again.
This is probably my least favorite path in this game.
Over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel
I don't
free. Surely there's an answer
know what to
down
do.
some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Jeff, you let me out of here. Press square to tell me your wife that you love her. Jeff, you just told me I don't have a wife.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's
Wait,
doing
where are
is
we?
pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Jeff, let me out.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real
Jeff,
one.
let me out. Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this.
Jeff.
That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer.
You can wait.
As long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Wait. Why is he using reverse
You see?
psychology?
Can he just not hear me?
What is it? What?
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Jeff, I swear to God. You're making me mad, Jeff. So I can just wait for a second? I think I might do that. It's not even showing the right time in the game. Stranger Than Friction starring Will Ferrell? I've never seen it. It's not waiting for a second. It's waiting for a longer than a second? Stranger Than Fiction. Okay. So how long do I have to wait for? What's this invoice for? I hate Mondays. Jeff, don't make me regret playing whatever this is. You just know it's a long time. Oh man, I can't be entertaining for a long time. I'm very much try 30 minutes to an hour? What?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him.
If you click now, you can try a new run.
Perhaps. Well,
What does that even mean?
See. maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
And Stanley pushed a
die.
button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What the heck, Jeff? Alright, we're back here. Janice still isn't here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh my gosh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine, Jeff. Fine. We'll play it your way.
When
Jeff is
Stanley
off his
came
meds
to a
again.
set of 2 open doors, he
Enter the door on his left. Look at the door on the left. It's beautiful. Hello.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Do not alter without
Feeling
consulting a
away
whiteboard
dismally,
manager.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
There's a lot here. I don't like that. Alright. So, what is this? Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header, and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You, most of all. Don't listen to him, kids. The graphs about things and money. Requires more secondary research. Stripes. The stock market is somewhere here. Violet James, you are fired. Throw something in the ideas bin. We need reviews. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net? Some sort of child trap? A lot of percentage. Space between the teenagers. Oh my lord. If you ever find yourself in an interpersonal conflict with another diligent employee... okay, never mind. Let's keep going. Monetize free to play. Synergy. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I beg to differ. Those pliers are glowing. Also, I just keep hearing button clicks every time I try to interact with something. Like I'm just at a keyboard clicking buttons. Alright. Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is the roof? Oh, look at this office. It's pretty fancy. Executive bathrooms. Wow. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Don't overthink it. What's going on, Bread? Stanley was happy with the extremely small amount of viewers on his live stream. It's true. And my extreme bathrooms guide. Some type of office building? Kind of some soap? Alright, let's go talk to the boss. Is there anything in here? Besides a panda painting? That's an elevator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
This is an
stunned to
office?
discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
It was the Mafia.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Jeff, I feel like you're lying to me. You lied to me about my wife and my dog. Why should I trust you now, Jeff?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley
What is-
happened to input the
Whoa.
correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Jeff, I'm not liking this. 28:45. All right, let's find this one out. All right. We got some. Is this like an elevator shaft? I say that because there's a door to nowhere up there, and I'm kind of like, what is going on here? Let's go on, Seraphim. Don't do the decision that you think you should make during this one hallway. I mean, I'm all lost now. That first ending that I got was weird. Pretty much just told me to die. Wasn't super thrilled with that, but here we are. Alright, so this looks like an elevator shaft, right? So, up or down? Up or down? I'm gonna say down. We're going down. Have you played Please Don't Touch Anything? There's a reference and an ending in that game. I have not played that.
Into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Jeff, I don't feel this way.
Feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
All right, Jeff. Since you're the only one in my head, we'll go on. We'll continue.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, there's an escape right over here. Can you go back up? I don't know. Would it let me go back up? You say don't do it. Where? Escape. No, let's. You know what? Let's just continue Mind Control Facility. It's too late now. They're watching us. We got a light bulb? It's a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, is that what these are?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This is actually where they, I can't even... I was gonna come up with something like Sports Center, but I can't. Rafk? The narrator hasn't lied yet. They make Pokemon cards here? I believe it. Ah yes, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope it's going wonderfully. Also, Vosk, you definitely, like, had the Riz on Valentine's Day. Like, what? Good job, I guess.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Whoa.
Their true nature revealed.
We got some...
Explore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, okay. Fired. Fired! Alright, so they've been spying on us with numbers. And, that's a thing. I like how there's big buttons that tell me what to do.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe.
Number 247.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Jeff, these aren't the things that I'm thinking. You're just kind of like trying to think them for me. 247, right there. Wario screen number 666. Dang.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Jeff, I'm not thinking of any of these things. Facility power.
Here's the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Where are my coworkers?
Would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mind control status offline. Activate power cells. I'm just gonna... Okay. What do we got here? Got some more buttons. Can't open that. What we got here? Ooh, ooh, I heard a boop. Yeah, there's a boop. A boop. It's a giant button. Just let me press it. I just want to push the buttons. None of them do anything? Why would you put so many buttons in a room and then not let me push them? This looks like something that I can use. 5. I'm kind of disappointed. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. You're telling me this is a mind control facilitator.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Mr. Narrator, I'm gonna press it on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years,
I don't know if they did that.
Control of the machine for yourself. Is
Yes.
that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls
Never.
off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode.
Nuclear detonators?
Complex.
What?
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
Jeff.
where we're going.
Jeff, I don't like you.
All this means I barely know where to start.
Jeff, I don't like you.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
That's what I wanted to know in the
Moment
beginning.
of solace before you're obliterated.
Tell me.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
2.
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
got 2.
Or I let it burn to a crisp. suspense has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But
I'm gonna
sure
die.
whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
How nice.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley.
The buttons don't do anything still. Why would they put buttons here?
Stanley. Is it that
Why?
you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Correct.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
No.
Look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Jeff, I don't like you.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Jeff, I don't like
This
you.
is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, but I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Jeff, I don't like this guy.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I don't like Jeff. Off does lead to one of the happier endings, though. So this is what it is. I'm in a loop.
All of his co-workers were
All of his coworkers were gone. What could it mean? You killed them all.
Missed a memo.
You done did it, Jeff. I don't like you. I'm gonna find you, Jeff. I'm gonna find you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Enter the door on his left. I'm gonna get him. There's a path where the narrator dies?
There was not a
Good.
single
We're gonna
person
find
there
it.
either. Feeling
And I'm gonna
a
go
wave
down
of
it.
disbelief, Stanley
And I'm
decided
gonna-
to go up to his coming to a staircase.
I'm gonna make it-
Stanley walked upstairs
I'm gonna make
to
it a
his
thing.
boss's office. Stepping into
2,
his
8, 4,
manager's
5.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What
No,
could it mean?
reset.
Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator
Shut up,
talk.
Jeff. You killed me already. Twice.
Anxiety isn't healthy.
Jeff, I swear you mentioned anxiety. I'm gonna freak out.
With some calming new age music.
Jeff, I'm upset. And this is why Jeff's gonna die.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, we're gonna go down here. I don't like Jeff. Jeff's made an enemy. Not a powerful one, but he's made one, that's for sure.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You kill a narrator by aging the world around you?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, look at all the television
What horrible
screens.
secret did this place hold?
I wonder what they do.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Jeff. I don't like you. I think that is my main factor. My driving decision behind this game is I'm gonna find you, Jeff.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
New contento.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom! Escape for replacement? I don't know, I'm gonna hit no on this thing.
Mind control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been
No
under
contento.
control all this time?
I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm sure I'll mess up and Jeff will try killing me again.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Joke's on you,
Truly
Jeff.
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I already think I live in a simulation,
But here was
so...
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content.
Like a little...
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
Is he gonna be mad if I press off again?
Never again exert its terrible...
Alright, Jeff, I did it. I pressed off.
blackness and a rising...
He's still
chill of
alive.
uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
I feel like you're lying to me, Jeff.
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
When you
It
say...
was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
When you gonna say psych,
Stanley
Jeff?
stepped through the open door.
When you gonna say psych? I know he gonna say psych.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Jeff, where are my coworkers? I mean, I know you probably killed them. Ah, beat the game. Very nice. Completed it. Awarded for getting any of the other trophies as your first. And we're back to square one. Now we're going to the escape tunnel.
Co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jeff, you know I don't miss memos.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
He
doors,
entered the door on
he
his
entered the
left.
door on his left.
Enter the door on his left. This is the doors
Yet
from
there was not a single person
Roblox.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Get
Stanley
Chris
decided to go
out of
up
the
to
broom
his
closet.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Is Chris in the broom closet? I don't see him.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. please take your time.
The broom closet? Is there something like I have to do in the broom closet? Or if I wait here long enough and close the door, I get an ending? I'm just gonna sit here and hide in the closet. Just how long do you think it takes? This is where they're like, all right, Stanley, you're a janitor now. Like, I'm gonna clean up the trash, Jeff. You're the trash, Jeff. Probably gonna be up all freaking night. The caffeine. I feel like I'm 12 years old again. Come on, Jeff, say something. New content, you need to get through the run enough times. Okay, I have no idea. This is my first time playing it. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. It's like a walking sim. If you haven't, you have to do 4th run or most likely longer. So I ignored everything he said the first time. And the second time, we got exploded. The third time, we had the happy ending where we walked out of the door. And now we're waiting in a broom closet. So you guys ever just wait in a broom closet? Sometimes I wait in a broom closet. Used to be part of my job. I'd organize them. This isn't technically an ending. Okay. Alright, we're going out of it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can we not what? You know, like watching the broomstick ending? Or broom closet ending?
The drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Real surprise.
Alright, Jeff. What if you walk downstairs? I don't know. We can find out. We got all night.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
"We got time."
Control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
My violent death. Listen here, Jeff.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I ain't scared. Open the door. Wait a minute. Alright, we're alive. Don't ask me how.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
Oh!
closer to his demise,
Oh, snap.
he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
How do I-
Like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
What?
He resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Jeff, I don't like you still.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous
Who
metal
dis?
doors. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Is he gonna do it now? Or what? Okay. We're alive. Where'd Jeff go? The narrator's getting narrated. Alright, what's the narrator's... Where's the new narrator's name? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. You call her Cynthia? Go to the text. Okay, well, I guess I'll go to the text.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Interesting. And there's like little Stanley's computer, office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors is the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. The core layout remains almost identical to the first generation. What's going on, Joe? Oh, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Let's see, we got some nature paintings. I was thinking about adding some, like, beads or something. I don't know. But not like hardcore, like, metal beads. Like, you search, like, men's beard beads on, like, Amazon or something, and there are all these, like, hardcore beads. And I'm like, I just want something, like, simple. The Office. 1, 2, 3. We got, like, a corner here. What do we got here? The two doors. The set of two doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. You should be an extra on the live remake of How to Train Your Dragon. Oh man, that was the other one I was thinking of the other night. How to Train Your Dragon. I hate live action remakes, but I mean, if you're gonna, like, you know, pay me in some sort of way, like an extra, okay. Make your ending, or make your remake. Pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Okay. There's some filing cabinets. Office computers. Employee database. Based on the work of the Stanley Parable, and this is the 2013 team. We got some credits. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. I like them. What's going on, LD? It's a shot-for-shot remake. Let's see. We got left and we got right. Let's go left. We got the office. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Okay. We got a copier. This is like a little museum of the game. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it was too far jokey and on the nose for tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. I mean, that is kind of funny. Got like a little bike rack here. They say I got Riz. I'm lonely. But at least I got the Riz. Lounge. We got some more office stuff. The apartment timer? A previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending. A timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. We got the lift. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more place where cargo is actually stored. Cargo lift was offered choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, in this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of player falling to their death. You forgot how to leave this ending? I'm sorry if you hate it, Bread. I'm sorry. I'm reading option 1, option 2, option 3, vent, maintenance layout. Discuss the number of designs. Oh man, Bread, you have yet to meet Wario. Riz. We've got better. There's better than Riz. We can do better. Oh, let's see. Who we got here? Stanley's office from left to right. First was created in November. Second in 2011, 2012, 2013. What is this? Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game, though much of the environment has changed. The basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. So I'm like seeing pieces of the game that I haven't seen. Countdown room. Okay, that's different from the room that we were in. Freedom ending. Okay, that looks like it's a... Is this like the exit?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Cynthia Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was cut and merged with another part of the game. Then we got Zending levers. Player would pull a lever in there. It would describe what color they had pulled. The game is now paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game. Escape. Player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. What's going on, Brittany? How you been? I didn't realize that was a hallway. What is this? Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it shortly before lunch. Wow. What's down here? We have more freedom. There is a lot going on here. Like, I like this. I'm just kind of like, wow. Like, there's a lot going on here. We got lounge furniture, got the underground.
For all his button pushing, does that sound plausible to you?
Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development.
Stanley pushed the orange lever.
Huh. That's kind of neat. Who's my favorite narrator so far? Between, like, the 2 of them that I've been introduced to in this game? Or, like, my favorite narrator of all time? Because, I mean, Morgan Freeman is probably, like, right there. Like, if we're talking about narrating. So, that's a countdown desk. Let's go through here. Well, I hate Jeff with a passion. Cynthia seems nice. She saved me. Pull the lever, Kronk.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What?
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I think we got squished. Cynthia has no emotion, no personality, like an Arrested Development. You know what? You have a point, Joe. She doesn't have any of that. Like, there's no real, like... There's no urgency.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I think it means I'm
simply missed a memo.
I think it means I'm caught in a loop, Jeff. There is an ending if you did turn off the PlayStation.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door.
I'll have to do it at some point.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
My
wave
name is
of
Earl.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
They boarded off my closet. You jerk. I want to get in the closet. Tom Cruise. Okay, I'm waiting, bread. Pause for a moment in the hallways. Oh, next time. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go downstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Don't tell me what to do, Jeff. Piece of paper. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Ooh, there's a
He
car.
considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
How did it
He
get
might
in
be
here?
fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His
1,
boss
2.
would think he was crazy.
Before.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
It's true.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
It's true.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Also something I was wondering.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer.
What game is that where it is just
His
repeating?
co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Jeff, I
and
don't
Stanley
like this.
marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One, he was amazed he hadn't...
Yeah,
lost
boss.
his
I am enjoying this game better than last
Why
week.
Is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
It's much more
Another
chill.
voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Jeff, stop talking.
It all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for
Oh my
himself?
god.
Stanley is as awake right
Jeff!
now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the
can I
voice
get in the
speak
car?
these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Jeff!
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
What am I looking at?
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Jeff, I feel like you're just like listening to yourself talk. Oh look, I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up.
Stanley began screaming.
I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
It's true.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
This game
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled.
is just making me
the very important people whose impressions of her would
question
affect her career.
my own reality.
Extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood.
She
there,
didn't have time for
staring
this.
at the body. And
She
then
had to go get coffee. Alright, so Stanley died again. I like how it tells you to enter what time it is, and there is no time. Like, that's not what that is. That's not the time. The time is not 11:20. And the narrator isn't talking to me right now. Pause in the hallway. Okay, so I paused in the hallway. Or is it this hallway? What am I looking at? Resume the game. Begin the game again. Settings. Quit to menu. I don't... New content. Oh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New content?
I don't know, Jeff. You tell me. This looks like a lift of some sort. Don't do what? Don't kill the narrator? What story? We ruined the story? How? Oh no.
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
It doesn't look like I can turn back.
As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Ah, yes. Home computer.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a
Ultra
reimagining of the
Deluxe.
game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that
Ooh.
broadens and expands
Ah.
the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Ah, ooh. No
Please
contento.
step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Jeff gonna die.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Jeff, whose story is this? Is it mine or yours? Because I feel like...
Is it broken? What's going on here?
I feel like
Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Jeff, you gonna die.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Do you think I designed the... Do you think Stanley designed the game there, Jeff? Because I don't know if Stanley... You're the one who knows the game, Jeff. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
X to jump. Do I have to keep jumping?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
It has zero emotional impact. Believe me, I have emotions, and I'm gonna make some impact. Am I just out of jumps? You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Oh, look it. We had 27% of trophies.
Goodness, another elevator.
Another elevator?
I have to say,
You don't say.
initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping.
It wouldn't let me jump.
For exciting new content.
It wouldn't let me jump out of the circle.
Then I could just read you the whole
Because I want to go back. I was like, I just gotta make sure,
right
you know.
there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable
Listen,
Ultra
Jeff.
Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content.
Did you design the game,
Wait,
Jeff?
There's more.
Because, like,
Very good.
stop complaining.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see.
I'm sure they worked very
I'm
hard.
ready for whatever it is.
Oh, what do we got here? Thank you for enjoying the new content.
You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
2022, it was almost 10 years.
The level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Jeff, the world has bigger problems right now.
Stanley, I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
A very endearing narrator if you let him be one.
Why don't we just
No.
reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Jeff, I'm not your plaything, Jeff.
Say, friend.
Oh, okay, you're gonna do it for me. Alright. Go through the door again? I'm in a different place.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Normally, I don't listen to people whispering to me from vents, but why not? The voices are here, so. Coffee nut. Listen!
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new UltraDeluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What's going on here? What did you make, Jeff? Some sort of temple. Oh, Jeff.
I call it the memory zone.
The memory
It's where I've
zone.
been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Jeff, you're killing me here. Oh, alright, alright. What do we got? A picnic basket. Okay.
Listen, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013?
No.
When the game originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I feel like I walked through a museum of the Stanley Parable. What am I? The Audience Award. Some kind of the British Academy of Film. Oh, it's a BAFTA. Last of Us. they taped over it. Oh man. Good times. Just some. The Stanley Parable. Buy on pressurized gas. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved words. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Dang. 2013. What a year. Got like a CD. Smile because it happened. Got phones. We got the Stanley Parable demonstration. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. We got here nominee for a BAFTA. All the BAFTA nominees. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Business leaders pushing election off council allies. Colleagues show uneven effort to enroll poor. Oh, look it. That's us from the last ending. So relaxing. Did you guys play the Stanley Parable when it was released in 2013? I didn't. Oh, great. I'm gonna have a copyright claim on this stream now.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of
What was I for Halloween?
Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game
Nothing this
ever
year, if I
created.
recall correctly.
Did you hear that?
I was a bum.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing
What,
the original Stanley Parable was.
Did I stream on Halloween?
Literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
I need to check.
It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk. Now,
Well, Jeff, maybe if you weren't so Jeffy.
an hour of new elevator content.
Let's see. No, that was the month that I was being weird. But I wasn't anything for Halloween. Alright, we're gonna continue. What do we got here? We got upstairs and we got downstairs. What's downstairs? Memory zone maintenance. Bread gave out candy. What kind of candy did you give out, Bread? Was it good candy? I hope it was good candy. For Scott. Literally anything. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
Was it?
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. Can I not get through there? The serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Did they added to it? Pressurized gas. Reviews.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in
Steam!
years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, we're gonna find out. Not
Honestly, I
recommended.
could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
Unfunny! Whoa.
Trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Pressurized gas reviews. Unfunny! I'm just kind of like looking. I was like, pressurized gas. No propane on that forklift. Oh, it's raining.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy.
It's only thought-provoking in the first few minutes.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as
Noodle Chef!
airy as it. Well, I will say it did.
That's why I said, Hank.
Maybe it wasn't.
Propane, it's the best way to run a forklift.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Yes.
Like I let these people down.
This is it, the murder.
The Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
But not really? No! What is the town with no name? I don't know what that is. So, what else we got? Bum bum bee dum bum ba da da da.
What's this one
Oh
got to
no.
say?
Cookie.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's
I
happening.
wish there was a skip button.
Wish there was a skip button.
Dang.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
We're adding a skip button. We got like a little plank. Oh, I forgot to make plank. I was too busy. Oh, it's a skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second mind... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy rumination. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your finger. Okay, welcome back, Stanley.
I wonder if I can make him mad.
The amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Sounds like a pressure problem.
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
It's just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Tell me more.
Not a single person.
Oh no.
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me talking and you saying nothing.
Yeah, well, you keep talking.
Don't you think that it's exactly the same as always?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't that feel like what we... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Well,
It's a me!
I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
Uh-huh.
I've had so much time.
I know.
I stopped keeping track after
A year?
I never sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year. Let me describe it for you.
Silence. Silence is golden. Is he gone? Are the voices gone? Is he hiding? No, he's not. He's not hiding. He's not sitting in a chair. Where did the door go, though? What's that noise? It's like a smoke detector with the beeps. Nothing new except for the beeping.
But they didn't understand.
Oh
that
my
it
gosh.
was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't
Entertain
enough.
us.
They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their
Let him
pitiful demands.
speak.
But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't
Let him
shut
cook.
up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack
This
of
guy sounds
cohesion or
pretentious.
assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands.
Is he
that
cooking?
say everything.
Is this
And
is this what you consider
nothing.
cooking?
We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable.
I don't think that's what they put.
Demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given
This
to
guy-
indulging every fleeting
Stop
whim for
talking.
no reason other than to do so? Yes, yes. It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us.
Are you done?
Absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find
Button. Oh, thank God. Button. I buttoned. Button. Is it gonna bring me back into a rant? God, I hate Jeff so much.
The end is never the end.
He always has words to ponder.
Never the end.
They don't.
Never the end is 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 never the end.
I just wanted a clean track for a sample. I was gonna say it's gonna be a hard beat. I'm gonna, I'm gonna chop it, and I'm gonna wrap it like a Snickers bar. Yeah, that's what my thought was like. Yes, I'm a pick it. Oh, that's how somebody got a leak. All right, how long does this go? Oh, maybe I can escape at some point. Maybe. Like, eventually this building is gonna come down. I'll see what I can do, Vosk. I'll see what I can do. Oh, look at that. I like trees. And ferns. Look at it. Look how pretty that is. Listen how quiet it is. Like, the contrast to, like, his voice to, like, ambiance and, like, some birds. Like, 6'8" pirate. Oh, man. Oh, no. What happened? Where'd the things go? Where'd the plants go? Well, that was a... noise. Some like synth. Do I forgive Donald? Never. He abandoned me. I don't understand why he would do that. He was just like, bye! Like, no, Donald. You're not allowed to do that. At least Goofy's kind of a real one. But I do not forgive Donald. Uh-oh. The button has fallen. I am sitting cockeyed, it feels like. Look at the... Oh. Can I hit the skip button again? Or is the skip part over? I have to leave. Alright. So we got some sand here. Bucket sand! Can I, like, climb up on here? Let me climb up. I'm sad that I wasted all my jumps. It'll reset if you walk long enough. And I'll get more jumps! Where's my sprint button? Well, that was a thing that happened. And we're back in the office. Okay. But the narrator isn't saying anything. Actually, where's the phone? Is this it?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Alright, so I guess we're just not gonna acknowledge that? Terminate it? Can I do that? I don't have a terminate button. I mean, I can turn the computer off. The base game, you say? But look, there's new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work. All the time, every day. No
hoping he might find
something
an
promotion.
answer.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. There's more endings to the right. I mean, I did see an elevator up here, and I'm hoping at some point they unlock that broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I did. I did indeed. Bing bong. Bing bong. We're going up. Okay. You can't see it, but my hips are doing all the work here. It's like you gotta pull the hitch. It's like, what is it? It's like it's like, what is it? It's like your thumbs never go above. None of these. Like, that's how I learned how to dance. Is for like hitch. It's like. Does this just keep going? Like, what's going on here? Is that it? So I was gonna go up. Maybe I'm going down now? Need to learn how to dance before homecoming? You just gotta shuffle. That's all you gotta do. Just gotta learn how to do the shuffle. Am I going anywhere? I mean, I like elevator music. That's not bad. I feel like this elevator doesn't go anywhere. All right.
Here's the door. Just go.
All right, Jeff. Apparently, we upset Jeff. Can I go up? Apparently not. Why did I ignore the wall writing? Did it change? I was more focused on the toilet. I was like...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I did indeed.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope. Yeah, it wouldn't let me go up. You think it'll have a reaction if I go back up? I don't know. I can't go back now, though.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Employee observation protocol.
Of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You must terminate. Huh. Sorry, I was reading.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
That door did open. I want to see if it opens again, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
It's not new dialogue now.
That this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
What?
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever.
It does like a button, like go on.
Dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going? Or
You have one attempt to remain.
Right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it
Charge.
off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
Yeah, apparently they don't do
every
anything?
room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000?
This is different.
I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Goodbye, employee.
To your frail life? Or will you
427.
Another choice. Make it count or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fall
Aw,
in until
I'ma
the
die.
moment I say happily ever after.
Oh, there we did it again. We died again. Yay! I don't know if there's any puzzles in there. Oh well.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so Vosk said that there's more endings to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
annoying.
the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes.
Wow.
This room. What a beautiful, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
There's a lift. Ha ha ha! It's annoying to solve. Figure it out one day.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
It's
So
true.
now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Well, I only have one choice, so might as well go left.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Paper's rustling.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right.
Do the
okay,
Cupid
yes. I've got
shuffle.
it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, we got some headlights going on here. To the owner of a blue van, you left your lights on. We're going down. And we've got some screens.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
Oh,
Look,
no.
Stanley, close your eyes.
Never.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Alright, we did that, I suppose.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Surname, access. People leaving their computers on. Sheer insanity. Wasting power. In fact, I should just make sure that all of them are off. We've got a pencil sharpener. Okay. I can try. And the doors are closed.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over. Everything should be... What, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you. I'm the one who wrote the story.
Oh, are you, Jeff?
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
What'd you do with it, Jeff?
Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Well, this is different. Being the dedicated pencil sharpener for a company that uses computers. Okay, so both of these doors lead here. So there is two routes. So there's a couple different
I'll say
routes.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Jeff, nobody asked.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
What? Jeff?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
It's worse.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sales.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. We are not. This is not.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I don't remember.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing...
Where is Wario, the Sin Merchant?
You win!
We won!
Congratulations!
Yes!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
We won.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, I don't know where Wario's at.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
9 o'clock.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
The Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Battling Hades.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I like it. Let's continue. That's new. Well, let me shut that one off. Okay. Checking all the doors. I like this line, though.
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley.
It goes
to
over
destiny.
the box.
Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end club be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Jeff,
Now we can both
I'm gonna be
agree
honest
that the
here.
nature of existence
I stopped
is,
listening
in
to you
fact,
a little while ago.
byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence.
Oreo on a
right?
date?
Okay.
Can you
Now,
imagine?
if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective
You think you took her to
experience of
Raising
this
Cane's?
office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
No, was I.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay. This music's a little bit, a little much. Room 1. B3. B1. Is that a purge mask? It is. It's a purge mask. Alright. Indiana Jones warehouse. Good lord. Annual reviews, monthly ledgers. Sorry guys, I'm turning the music down just a little bit. Corporate imbalances, financial records, consolidation reports, departmental accounts, financial records, personnel files, budget analysis. And we got up here, Payday? I've never played it.
Wait, cut the music.
Thank God.
Back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I feel like that's a lie, but alright. There's a line to make sure I stay with the story? Yeah. Alright, well, we saw the fern. Let's keep going. I'm also glad the music is finally done. Do I want to turn it back up now? I mean, it cut out. It cut out. Like, the music stopped. Jeff stopped the music.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
So it looks like, boss.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
It's in, like, straight here. But then there's, like, over here. Okay, so this is the line I started at. The narrator's quiet now? What the heck? So I can go through here.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done
Yeah,
this to us?
I turned down the game
After we
audio
trusted
'cause-
you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take
I
this
didn't turn it all the way down,
anymore.
though, so it was confusing.
Restart.
Wow.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right?
You put it there, bro.
We make up our own story. Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Which direction? Did you open a door? Oh, he did. I guess we're wandering in this direction.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
You're telling me
imagination.
this doesn't go
Whatever
anywhere?
it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
You're telling me this is just a pathway to nowhere?
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I like the TM. I want to acknowledge the line, though. I like the line. I like how it goes into the ceiling.
Ah, a choice.
Ah, two
To
doors.
make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
What?
And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where
Let's go on, cats.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion ending. You've been playing the confusion ending for almost 18 minutes. Well, we got deviate from maintenance room, end up monitor room. Then it restarts the game. Endless wandering.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
What?
Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Tis indeed Friday, cats.
Why
Did you
don't I get
have
say
a
in all of this?
happy Valentine's Day?
No, it can't be.
Did ya?
I don't want it to be.
Did ya have dinner with your sweetheart?
I don't want to forget
Did you
what's
get some
going on.
chocolates
I don't want to be trapped like this.
for
I
ya?
won't restart
Yes.
the game. I won't
Special
do it.
friend?
I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
I don't know.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule. How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
I like how both doors led to the confusion ending.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay. Didn't have school day, so you didn't have to get the painful reminder of how single I am. That's alright, Bosky. It sounds like a good day to not have school. You get a 3-day weekend.
Tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
I'm not gonna lie to you here, Jeff. This is, awaiting input. Input received. Well, the input was received. Ah! New contento.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Can I just shut it and go out this one?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs still? Okay.
Here's the door, just go.
Okay. What is going on here? We're gonna go down... downtown! Oh my gosh. Okay. The board says you get interrupted. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, well.
The lights rose.
I can't remember what the board said, so.
Television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
You think? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Like I said, I can't remember what the board said. I just know that I am indeed confused.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I'm just like reading the notes on the desks. I don't know. I kind of want to know like what's going on with this game.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Stanley, how much do you get paid? Like, I have questions.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It
Never.
was unthinkable. Wasn't
Unthinkable.
it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
You'd be surprised how often it happens. Okay.
Here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Here we are.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay.
And when at last he
all right,
found
where are
the
we at?
source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
All right. We're gonna turn it on.
Oh, Stanley.
What's going on,
You
Kadir?
activated the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine
Stanley.
for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the
Activate
network's
power
emergency
cells.
detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your
2.
story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
Hints
More time to talk about you,
provided.
me. Where we're
Continue.
going. What all
Activate
this
button
means,
hint.
I barely know where to
Pinkish
start.
purple.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley.
3.
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter,
Blue.
Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Dark
And
blue
look at
1.
you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out.
I don't know how
and
this
watching
works,
the
but
bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity.
We're gonna
And
die.
Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again.
Yeah, we're gonna die again.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here.
I have no idea how this works, but we gonna die.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Yep, Stanley gonna die again.
Don't. It's all the same to me.
Womp womp
All
womp.
part of the joke.
So
And
right.
believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Huh. Look, we died again. Good job, team. Hey, it's Wario. Do you have a date, Wario?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's the devil from the Bible. From the Bible. Input received. So that's the second input. New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I wonder what it could be. Okay. Here we are.
You see,
In
Stanley,
the lift.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh boy. Four, two, seven.
Yes,
The end
you
is
see,
never
isn't this far
the end
superior
again.
to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what
Investor
fans have truly
showcase.
been asking for.
The two. Oh man. Taste the sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Sure. They're back. 2 doors. I like how modern it looks. Look at the modernness. It's got 2 on the floor. Like, nice. 1 + 1 is 2 - 1 is... Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. Here. More TSP. Better TSP. Paradigm shift. Synergy. Brick and mortar approach. The color red. Sequential mindshare. 2 halves of the brain. More fern. Click to add speaker notes. Oh man. Oh, apparently we're going that way.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
Of course
But
not.
Let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, But sure, the
Scrum
game
design
will sort of
pitch.
naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker? Me. This feels very Half-Life-y. This way to the show floor. Ooh, new contento. New features. Expo Hall 2. New contento. With a bus. It's got a bigger bus. It's better than van. I love it.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Reassurance bucket. Merch. Ooh. Office decorations. Reassurance bucket. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Oh. Wait, do I want that? I don't know if I want to hear my name in the game. Probably not a great idea. No screenshots. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The baby is all grown up. The new updated ray traced more of the same, but in a good way, sequel to the new features, new content, new ideas. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Schween shaders. Ooh, free. New plus easy trophy. It just works. Infinite Jest. David Foster Wallace. Collectibles. Expo Hall Guide. Epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole, free trophy, jump circle, merch, settings world champion. There's another exit. I want the new free easy trophy. I need the new one. Pull the lever, receive trophy, no more steps. It just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
No.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it? I don't think it is.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Oh.
Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Unlock the trophy. Alright. Well, that was a dead end. Is there anything actually, like, over here? No?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, we saw the jump circle. But I don't have any jumps remaining.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
I did indeed.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Can't you just give me more jumps? Can't you just... Okay. Alright. Not gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. We got an infinite hole. It won't end. What is this? This is a door.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
That one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Of course. And everything's okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Okay, this is the infinite hole? Or the reassurance
A common
bucket?
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You
There's
see,
no
Stanley,
bucket.
anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and
There's no bucket.
ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes.
I want the skip button back.
The perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh my gosh, alright. Looks like a bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made
Got
you
that
the
riz.
slightest bit more attractive as
The
a person.
bucket riz.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So I have a bucket, and I guess I'm gonna walk out here with it.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I gained sin points for that. I accept. For the bucket. The reassurance bucket. This is the hole? Yeah, here. Time, depth, opening. Infinity, hole entrance. More hole. Science, falling. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole. that
Did you
can fall
finish
down.
Sonic Adventure 2, Wario?
Right.
Did you enjoy it?
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap
Yeet.
forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I want to see if it's really infinite.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button.
And you
to go
fan
back to the
dubbed it?
It's
Nice.
on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Proud of you, Wario. I feel like this hole isn't necessarily infinite, and they don't want me to know that.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is.
It's an extremely deep hole.
I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well...
Look at the cigarette
You
butts.
found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
I knew it.
I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I will stay at the bottom of the hole. And this is where we shall stay. I don't understand how the view ticker works on the live control panel in OBS. It's like you have this many views, and then it's like actually we were slightly exaggerating them by like a few.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I don't really want to see them, if I'm being honest. Like, what time is it? 10? Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Oh boy.
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay, that's a thing apparently.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I really don't want to hear my name in the game, but let's see if it's actually like that, or if it's a farce.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Sure. Alright, stream. This might be where I dox myself. You find out what my name is.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Ah! I'm not gonna lie to you. It started out fun. But now I'm I don't know. I feel like I've been walking all day.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Is it gonna acknowledge the merch? No. What about the elevators? I think get me out of here. Wait, there's an escape, right? It says the button that says gym. What's up here? Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Settings World Champion. Alright. What do I do with this bucket? Exit. I'm taking the bucket with me.
All right. Have you seen everything you
It's actually a
wanted to?
pretty
Ready
legit
to
bucket.
move on now?
It's like a purse right there. What we got here? What is this?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
I love it.
It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
You
So
got me.
Let's do an experiment.
No.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Huh.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
Yeah,
sort of...
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I got my jumps back.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Epilogue.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
I don't know.
Good, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It's gonna take me to a title. Yep. It's gonna take me somewhere on the screen. If I stay on it too long. It might just loop. Settings.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others
Seems
might
legit.
have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had
Is this the
arrived
same
on
game?
the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting.
They just
or
added
even say
balloons.
hi.
Oh no.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There's
Stanley
just, like,
decided
balloons.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Is there a activation? Oh, whoa, we got like a... It's got the bucket. Oh, I'm not seeing it. I like the bucket though.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh, and apparently I can't put it back down. Alright. Just what I wanted. The bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Good lord. I'm gonna go insane.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I like the bucket's inclusion, I suppose. Look it, a collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
I'm so
You can't
excited.
buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Moment savored.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
It is a nice bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
It's a pretty
Was
smart
the
bucket.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. The The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
But I have the bucket.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
I told you.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Jeff, I'm disliking Jeff more again.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Ah.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
The bucket is sentient now. To be fair, the bucket is very nice. The detail is, I mean, look at the texture.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's gonna be alright, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His
Being
own
tired of
life
the
in
bucket.
someone else's control? Never!
Oh.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he
Stanley,
could
the
trust
bucket doesn't
no
care
one
about you.
except for the bucket.
I can't trust the bucket either.
But here was the proof. At the heart of
Okay.
the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
think we're done with that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was that was a game. I'll tell you what. Like, oh man. I hate Jeff. Vosk's back. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing that again next week. I think 1 week is good enough. Did I enjoy it for a little bit, and then it got a little off the rails. Partition core. I was like, what does that thing say? Yeah, a little off the rails, and I don't know. Like, I got tired. Like I was talking about when you go through like the Stanley Parable 2 like expo. It was like, I feel like I have been walking at like a fair all day. Like it just felt like I was just walk. And I mean, it was probably really, really good in 2013, but like I feel like this whole genre, especially when it comes to like horror gaming, this is exactly what most horror games are nowadays. But I know this isn't a horror game, but like if you've played a horror game in 2025, you've played the Stanley Parable with more things to do and spookier. New game every Friday, you think? I'll give it a look, see what we can figure out. Like just like little one-offs maybe, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I had this downloaded and I was like, I've been meaning to play that. I'll give it a go. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably call it a night. Appreciate you guys hanging out, watching me play this. What am I playing tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. Saturday is Killer Frequency. I mean, it wasn't for me, like this game. It wasn't necessarily exciting. I don't know. Like I needed something more to happen. It wasn't bad, and it was interesting. But it certainly didn't like capture my attention for me to be like, yes, let's pick it up again. But yeah, tomorrow, Killer Frequency. We're aiming for the good ending. We're gonna try saving everybody. If only I can remember how my responses that saved the people that got saved the first time, and what ended up killing the ones that died in the initial playthrough as well. Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe I'll have to go back and like review my stream. So Vosk's gonna have the chat work. What is that? Is that a bug? Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate everybody like coming, hanging out. It's nice having an active chat. Oh man, half the people, 56% of responders. That means at least 9 don't know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris. Sad. YouTube shadow banned you. Yeah, I'm also glad I didn't get robbed. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. One of these days, though, you watch. It will be a masked intruder, and it's gonna be like, yeah. And I'm like, ah. Murdered on live stream. I don't know. Tomorrow I gotta work on my cable management. I have so many cables sitting on this desk right now. And I gotta put my nose hair trimmer back where it belongs. Not the trauma stream. There will... One day, new fear unlocked. We'll do it here. Here we do things. Unbelievable, fantastical things. I don't know. I might go watch Pulp Fiction now. Pulp Fiction, maybe grab a snack or something. The Raising Cane's. Yes. Oh, I saw a short about something in a Raising Cane's. It was not good. Face of top 10 streamers who died in horrific ways on streams video. Yes, it's gonna be like, Broke had a beard. But unfortunately, it's gonna be a Watch Mojo. And then there's gonna be like a pun. It's gonna be terrible. My PlayStation controller is falling apart. Not really bad. It's just like the grippy there, like it's coming up. But you can get new ones for them. I'm not really worried about it. Permission to watch Mojo your death? Yeah, why not? Watch Mojo my death. Do whatever. I don't know. I've always wanted a podcast. Want to be a subject of a podcast, if anything. Leave a big mystery if I die. Like masked intruders. Like the only footage was caught on camera. Well, duh. If it was the only footage, it would be caught on camera. It wouldn't be like a videotape. Or you know, photos. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to drag this out any longer. It's getting awkward. It's getting painful. Either way, appreciate y'all. Killer Frequency tomorrow. You guys have a good end to your week. Have a sweet Valentine's Day. Don't eat too many goodies this fine evening. Don't get in any trouble. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. But have a good night.